Hi, how are you? This day we are going to continue with the mistakes Spanish people create when they make or they create English sentences in compositions, in speaking, and in writing, yes. Therefore, these are quite common mistakes and they are very easy to solve. For example, when we refer to the age, we say, in Spanish, most people says when they translate sentences or when they want to speak, I have 16 years old. It is not possible. We should remember that in English we always use the verb to be, I am, in order to refer to the age, okay? In this case, the verb to be is the necessary, but not the verb to have. Another common one is the use of the present perfect. For example, we say, I have worked in London 3 years ago. In this sentence, we have the word ago that refers to the past. And it refers to an action that is completely finished. Therefore, we shouldn't say have worked, we should say work. It's an action that happened in the past and that is completely finished, okay? Another one should be, for example, when we refer to hours, we say, what time is it? It's the question, the common question in English language. A common mistake is say, for example, 8 o'clock. I'm going to use this one. 8 o'clock. It is not correct. We should say, it is 8 o'clock. We should never forget the subject and the verb in order to refer to time, okay? The same happens in many sentences when we omit the subject. In English, it's completely necessary that the subject should be in all sentences, always placed before the verb and at the beginning of the sentence. Okay? Now we are going to review, for example, the use of the relatives. We cannot say the boy which lives in London. In this case, we cannot use the relative pronoun which. The relative pronoun that we should use should be who, because we refer to a person. Which is only used when we refer to things. It's possible to use that in both cases, but if we put which, it's completely false, right? The relative pronoun that is used to refer to people in general is the relative pronoun who, okay? Another use of mistakes commonly with preposition is, for example, we say with the verb listen. With the verb listen, we say listen me in Spanish. In Spanish not, by Spanish people. It's not common. Listen to me should be the preposition that should be placed in all cases. We have the preposition and the object, okay? This preposition is completely necessary. The same happened, for example, in the sentence, he said me, he was tired, for example, a sentence in reported speech. In this case, we need the preposition to with the verb say. With the verb say, we need the preposition to plus the object. If we put the verb told, the introductory verb told, the preposition is not necessary. And sometimes we mix these two situations and we omit the preposition would say when it is completely necessary, okay? Here we review relative pronouns and preposition to, right? Well, many mistakes are related, for example, to the use of the definite article. A. The definite article, when we refer to professions, is completely necessary in English. For example, in English we say, she works as a teacher. Many Spanish people omit this one, but this definite article is completely necessary when we refer to professions, right? It's a profession, and therefore the definite article is necessary, right? She works as a teacher. No, she works as teacher. Or we say she is a teacher. The same. The definite article is completely necessary. The preposition with, for example, with Spanish people usually says marry with somebody. Casarse con alguien. Would you marry with somebody? Because in Spanish we use the preposition with. Con, in this case. In English, the preposition with is not necessary. Marry somebody. We don't have to use this preposition, right? Another common mistakes are related to tenses. Sometimes we use related to tenses. For instance, sometimes we use the present continuous when we should use the past perfect continuous. For example, I have been living in London for 2 years. In this case, the present perfect continuous is completely necessary, not I am living. The present continuous is not possible. We should use the present perfect because it's an action that started 2 years ago and is still continuing. When the action starts in a point of view and is still continuing, we use the present perfect continuous. The present continuous, the simple present continuous, is related to actions that are happening at this time, at this moment, just now, okay? Finally, we are going to pay attention to the difference between good and well. Good is an adjective and well is an adverb. Therefore, we cannot say he works good. We should say he works well, right? Because in this case, it's an adverb. The adjective is always followed by a noun, while the adverb is usually found alone, okay? And another important mistake that is usually made is related to question words. According to question words, for example, with the question word who, we say in English, who opened the door? In this case, we have the verb in the past, but the auxiliary is not necessary. We don't need an auxiliary. The past auxiliary, in this case, did is not necessary. Why? Because the subject is the question word. The question word is the subject, and in this case, the auxiliary is not necessary to create the question, okay? This is quite common with the the question word who, because it's a function as the subject and it refers to persons. Well, I think it's enough for today. If you want you have more problems to create writings or to speak in English language, we should pay attention to all these solutions to solve them and all these explanations. I hope I have helped you and see you next day. Bye bye.